Chosen one, listen to me very carefully. You must not swipe away from this moment. There are no coincidences in the life of a spiritually awakened soul. The algorithm did not randomly push this video onto your screen today. The Holy Spirit orchestrated this exact divine appointment. I need you to lock your attention on what I am about to say. Do not let your mind wander for even a single second, because heaven has something extremely vital to reveal to you right now. Thousands of years ago, a prophet named Enoch was taken up into the heavens. He was shown spectacular visions of the end times. He saw the exact spiritual battles that would occur. But he did not just see massive global events. He saw people. He saw the chosen ones who would carry the heaviest burdens in the final generation. And I need you to listen carefully to this next part. Enoch saw you. He saw your face, your specific struggles, and your quiet tears. You have been feeling incredibly drained lately, have you not? It is the kind of heavy exhaustion that sleep simply cannot fix. You wake up feeling heavy. You feel like you fought an invisible war all night long. And the absolute truth is that you actually did. Your spirit is a human shield. You stand in the gap for your entire bloodline. You absorb the dark chaos of others so they can have peace. But this holy sacrifice is taking a massive toll on your physical vessel. Take one deep breath, drop your shoulders, and open your hands to receive this. You have noticed that people are suddenly pulling away from you. Conversations feel shallow. They drain your precious energy within minutes. You feel entirely isolated, even when you are standing in a crowded room. The system wants you to believe that you are the problem. They want you to think you are too sensitive. But that is a complete lie, designed to keep you weak and confused. This strange isolation you are feeling is not a punishment. It is a divine quarantine. God is pulling you away from the noise because your frequency is shifting rapidly. Your soul is being prepared to hold a massive level of sacred authority, and you cannot enter this next season with toxic energy attached to your spirit. The system is terrified of what happens when you finally realize your true power. They know your awakening destroys their control. You are not losing your mind. You are experiencing profound spiritual warfare. The sudden obstacles and slammed doors are not signs of failure. They are direct redirection from heaven to keep you out of hidden traps. Enoch warned about this exact season of intense spiritual resistance. He wrote that the remnant would face unseen attacks right before their massive breakthrough. The enemy knows your true identity, even if you have temporarily forgotten it. Deep down inside, you have always known you were completely different. From a very young age, you could read a room. You could sense hidden intentions. You saw through the fake masks that everyone else accepted as perfectly normal. You were placed in your family bloodline to be the ultimate cycle breaker. You carry a spiritual weight that ordinary people cannot even comprehend. And that is exactly why the Matrix has tried so hard to crush your spirit. You give so much of your heart. People never return the favor. You sit in your room alone. You cry silent tears that nobody ever sees. You carry the pain of your friends and family on your own tired shoulders. And when you finally need a hand to hold, you find yourself completely alone. But hear me clearly today. Your kindness was never a weakness. It was a rigorous divine test that you passed with absolute honor and integrity. People often misunderstand your silence for arrogance. They do not realize it is a profound spiritual boundary. You have stopped explaining your soul to people committed to misunderstanding you. You protect your peace. You finally understand how valuable your energy is. You survived situations that would have destroyed an average person. You did not survive because you are merely tough. You survived because you are chosen. The universe marked your energy for elevation. The forces of darkness thought they could break you, but their wicked plan officially backfired. A divine verdict was just issued in the heavenly realms. The season of you carrying this heavy burden alone is coming to an end. Enoch left behind a hidden message describing a frightening detail about the enemies you face. He revealed exactly what the corrupt system is planning to do next. And more importantly, he revealed the specific weapon you already possess to shatter their control. You must stay with me to understand this completely. Your mind feels foggy. You are transitioning into a higher realm of pure discernment. The heaviness in your chest is the breaking of old generational chains. Do not run from this strange discomfort. Embrace the quietness. Let heaven do its perfect work in you. What I am about to tell you next will change everything you thought you knew about your life. The veil is lifting right now. Prepare your heart for this divine revelation. Before I go any further, I need you to understand something deeply. You must completely shift how you view your current pain and suffering. The world tells you that your isolation is a massive failure. They want you to believe that you are simply antisocial or broken. But heaven is declaring the exact opposite over your life today, because your current isolation is actually pure divine protection. God removed those people from your life for a very specific reason. They were secretly draining your sacred energy while pretending to be your friends. You truly loved them with a very deep and pure heart. You constantly prayed for their ultimate success and happiness. And yet, they continuously brought toxic chaos right into your peaceful sanctuary without any remorse. The universe had to sever those dark ties permanently to save you. You are not simply wandering around feeling lonely, but you are currently being heavily guarded by powerful and unseen angelic forces. The corrupt system is specifically designed to keep you surrounded by low frequencies. They know that if you stay around toxic individuals, your spirit will stay entirely asleep. But your pure soul recognized the hidden trap before your physical mind did. That is exactly why you suddenly felt physically exhausted around certain people. Your spirit was aggressively rejecting their hidden darkness, because it was desperately trying to protect the precious inner light that God placed inside you. Every time a door slammed shut recently, you probably felt completely defeated. You wondered if you were doing something horribly wrong with your life. You started to question your own worth and your sacred calling. But heaven wants you to know that God's delay is not a denial. God's delay is absolute exactness, and heaven closed those doors to stop you from entering rooms that would crush your spirit. The harsh rejection you faced was pure spiritual redirection. Now let us talk about the unseen attacks you have been enduring recently. You experienced sudden financial delays and bizarre arguments that erupted out of nowhere. You suffered through sleepless nights where your mind raced until the early morning hours. I need you to understand that this is not normal human anxiety. You are not experiencing everyday stress like the rest of the sleeping world, but you are actively participating in a massive spiritual warfare. The dark entities that control this matrix are currently panicking in the shadows. They are watching your personal frequency rise higher every single day, and your rising vibration is setting off massive alarms throughout the unseen realm. They realize that you are slowly awakening to your powerful identity as a cycle breaker. The vicious attacks multiplied recently because your spiritual authority has grown so massive that the system can no longer control your destiny. Enoch saw this exact moment in the grand timeline of human history. He wrote about a chosen remnant who would carry a blinding inner light. This pure light acts like a massive beacon in the dark spiritual realm. The Matrix hates you because your very existence naturally exposes their hidden agendas. They did not hate you personally, but they absolutely hated the blinding light inside your soul that exposed their comfortable darkness. You have spent years wondering why you attract so much intense jealousy. People who hardly know you seem to harbor unexplained and toxic resentment. It constantly happens at your workplace and within your own family structure, but you must listen carefully to this vital truth right now. They are not reacting to your personality, but their unhealed demons are reacting violently to the powerful Holy Spirit resting upon you. Your current frequency perfectly matches the ancient prophecy that Enoch documented carefully. He saw a generation of spiritual warriors who would break generational curses silently. You do not need to fight these dark entities with loud words or physical force. Your absolute silence is your greatest and most lethal weapon against them. Staying completely calm is your true and absolute authority. You destroy demonic strongholds simply by standing completely still in your unshakable faith. And the universe fights the physical battles for you. This brings us to the profound exhaustion sitting deep within your bones right now. You are not depressed or losing your mind. Your spirit is exhausted from fighting violent battles in the unseen spiritual realm. While your physical body rests at night, your spirit is actively fighting the darkness. You constantly serve as a heavy spiritual shield for the people you love deeply. You constantly absorb the painful spiritual bullets meant for your vulnerable family members, which is a very holy and truly beautiful sacrifice. But you must realize that this heavy phase of carrying the weight is over. God is finally stepping in to relieve you from your exhausting post as the intercessor. You have done more than enough for all of them. You have paid the ultimate price and held the line perfectly for years. It is time for you to finally lay your heavy armor down on the ground, because the universe is actively preparing to fight the remaining battles strictly on your behalf. Every single tear you cried in secret was officially recorded as a powerful seed. The dark system thought those painful tears were permanent signs of your final defeat. They celebrated loudly when they saw you struggling to get out of bed every morning. But they did not understand the undeniable spiritual law of divine reversal, and what the enemy meant to destroy you is now becoming your ultimate victory. There are absolutely no coincidences in the life of a true chosen one. Everything happening to you right now is a carefully planned divine appointment. The strange encounters and the sudden unexplained losses are not random accidents. All of these moving pieces are violently crashing together to orchestrate your massive breakthrough. You are not starting over from scratch with nothing left in your hands, but you are simply finishing the rigorous preparation phase before your major elevation begins. You are a priceless masterpiece created by the hands of God. The Matrix desperately tried to make you feel like a completely worthless outcast. They quickly labeled you as the strange black sheep of your own family. But being the black sheep simply means you refuse to conform to their toxic cycles. You chose the difficult path of healing, and that brave choice aligned your frequency perfectly with the ancient words of Enoch. Listen carefully, because this is where the spiritual mystery deepens significantly. You have wondered why your physical body feels completely drained after doing very simple tasks. It is because you are fulfilling the exact vision Enoch wrote down thousands of years ago. He did not describe a quiet end to this current era. He saw a massive spiritual war tearing through the unseen realms, and he specifically saw you standing directly in the crossfire of this holy battle. Enoch described ancient entities who manipulated human frequencies to keep souls trapped in fear and toxic shame. But then he recorded a frightening detail that made these dark forces absolutely tremble with terror. He saw a small remnant of chosen ones who possessed an unbreakable inner light. These spiritual warriors did not fight their battles with physical weapons or angry shouts. They fought the Matrix entirely through their pure and silent spiritual authority. This is exactly why your physical vessel feels so profoundly heavy today. You are the sacred intercessor that Enoch saw in his ancient heavenly visions. When the corrupt Matrix targets your family, your spirit instinctively steps forward to absorb the massive blow because you are the protective shield God placed there. Your extreme exhaustion is actually the absolute proof of your beautiful victory in the unseen realm. The enemy throws everything at you, but your pure light never fades. Gently like this video, not for an algorithm, but as a physical declaration to the universe that you are in perfect alignment. You must claim this holy identity right now. Enoch wrote that these chosen ones would completely forget who they were for a painful season. The Matrix would use every trick to make them feel insignificant and weak. But a massive awakening was prophesied to occur precisely in this current generation. The remnant is finally remembering their divine heritage. What frightened the dark entities the most was not your physical strength. It was a very specific spiritual weapon that they cannot replicate or steal. They are absolutely terrified right now. You are on the verge of unlocking a gift that will destroy their entire operation. For years, they have operated in the shadows to subtly manipulate your destiny. They used fake friends and toxic environments to keep your vibration artificially low, but your soul is suddenly rejecting their frequency. Enoch described these end-time warriors as having eyes of pure spiritual fire. This does not mean physical fire, but it means a piercing spiritual discernment that instantly exposes every single hidden lie. You have the unique ability to look past the flesh and see the true spirit operating behind a person. You can instantly feel the subtle shifts in energy when someone lies to you. Your spirit recognizes the dark entities trying to hide behind ordinary human faces. The Matrix knows exactly what happens when your discernment is fully activated. They completely lose their ability to drain your energy through deceit and manipulation. This is the exact reason why your life has been so incredibly chaotic recently. The system is throwing desperate distractions at you to keep your heavy eyes closed. They constantly create financial delays and emotional drama because they desperately need to keep your spirit off balance. But heaven is stepping in to shatter their illusions. There is another terrifying detail that Enoch recorded in his sacred writings. He saw that the chosen ones would eventually become completely immune to the dark attacks. Once they finally realized their true identity as divine cycle breakers, the dark weapons formed against them simply dissolved into nothing before reaching their target. You are currently stepping into this exact phase of untouchable spiritual authority. You were being rigorously prepared to walk through the fire without smelling like smoke. Do not look at your current struggles as a sign of heavenly abandonment. God is closely monitoring every single step you take in this dark and lonely wilderness. You are a vital part of a grand spiritual design that stretches back to the beginning of time and connects you to ancient divine power. Enoch saw your massive victory long before your enemies even planned their first attack. Listen carefully, because the system is desperately trying to hide their current panic from you. The dark forces are running out of time, and they absolutely know it. They are throwing their final toxic arrows at your mind to cause extreme self-doubt. But their wicked efforts are completely useless against a fully awakened spiritual shield like you. You have survived every massive storm they deliberately manufactured to destroy your pure soul while you were still in your healing phase. Your unshakable resilience is a magnificent testimony to the immense power resting upon your life today. Stay firmly anchored in your divine truth as the shift continues to accelerate. The spiritual atmosphere around you is actively changing as you listen to these prophetic words. You are breaking generational curses simply by refusing to participate in their low frequencies. Enoch saw your radiant light piercing the thickest darkness of the Matrix, and he knew nothing could ever extinguish your divine spark. Prepare yourself, because we must now look directly at the hidden faces of those who tried to stop you. Listen carefully, because this is the exact detail the Matrix wants to hide from you. We must now look directly at the hidden faces of your enemies. You have spent years giving your pure heart to people who secretly despised your light. They smiled in your face while actively plotting your ultimate downfall in the dark. These were not random, toxic encounters. These individuals were carefully deployed by the dark system to keep your frequency painfully low. They operated as spiritual energy vampires in your daily life. They came to you constantly with their endless drama and chaotic problems. You listened to them. You gave them your precious time. You offered them deep spiritual healing when they were completely broken. But the moment you needed a simple shoulder to cry on, they entirely vanished like ghosts. They never actually wanted to be healed. They only wanted to consume your radiant light. The dark matrix uses these unhealed people as literal spiritual weapons. When the unseen entities cannot reach you directly, they use the people closest to you. They manipulate your family members. They stir up bizarre conflicts at your workplace. And they orchestrate vicious smear campaigns to completely isolate you from anyone who might truly support your divine mission. They desperately want you to feel entirely alone and hopelessly misunderstood. You probably asked heaven why you endured so much brutal betrayal. You wondered why your love was met with such harsh cruelty. The answer is entirely spiritual. It has absolutely nothing to do with your personal worth. They did not hate you because of your personality. They hated you because the Holy Spirit inside you automatically exposed their hidden demons. Your pure presence made their dark shadows incredibly uncomfortable. This is exactly why they formed groups to gossip about you. A single dark entity cannot stand alone against a fully awakened chosen one. They naturally flock together in groups to share their collective misery. They whisper lies about your character. They try to destroy your spotless reputation. But they are completely blind to the divine reality operating behind the scenes. God allowed their betrayal to quickly remove them from your sacred path. You must realize that their vicious rejection was actually your divine protection. If they had stayed, they would have poisoned your upcoming harvest. The system thought they were breaking your spirit. They used harsh isolation tactics. But heaven was simply clearing the room for your massive elevation. The Matrix made a fatal error when they tried to bury you entirely. They did not know you were a powerful divine seed. Now the hidden enemy is panicking in the unseen realm. The trap they set has become their own spiritual prison. They watch you stand tall. Your unshakable peace is driving them completely insane. They realize their dark assignments against your life have failed, and they are absolutely terrified because of what is happening right now. They know you are on the verge of a massive and unstoppable awakening. You are about to unlock a specific weapon that destroys their matrix. I will reveal what this terrifying gift is very soon. But first, you must understand their absolute weakness. The system relies entirely on your fear to maintain control. You cut off their food supply. You starve them completely. When you stop reacting to their toxic drama, their dark power instantly collapses into nothing. Their manipulation only works if you play their twisted game. Every time you defend yourself to a narcissist, you give them your energy. Every time you try to prove your innocence to the sleepers, you lower your holy frequency. The enemy desperately wants you to fight back in the physical realm. They want you angry. They want you bitter. They want your pure heart corrupted by toxic resentment, because a bitter chosen one cannot step into their ultimate quiet authority and rule their promised land. But Enoch saw that you would stop fighting on their low level. He saw you rising above the petty arguments. You no longer entertain fake friendships. You observe the chaos. You do not absorb it into your spirit. You watch the matrix malfunction around you. You see the narcissists turning on each other in total confusion. Their dark alliances are crumbling quickly because they no longer have your pure energy to feed their toxic bonds. The spiritual warfare you endured was completely necessary for this exact moment. You had to see the true faces of the people operating within the system. You had to feel the harsh sting of their calculated betrayal. If you had not seen their true darkness, you would have carried them into your next season. You would have unknowingly dragged heavy anchors into your promised land. Heaven allowed the temporary pain to secure your eternal freedom. Their smear campaigns are secretly returning to their own camps, right now. The universe is actively fighting your silent battles while you rest in quiet confidence. They expected you to break down and beg for their toxic validation. They waited for your complete emotional collapse. But instead of breaking, you simply became entirely untouchable. Your pure silence has become a massive fortress that their dark arrows can never truly penetrate. Lock your attention right now. This brings us to the exact signs heaven prepared for you. Enoch saw a remnant who would rise in the final days. But how do you know for sure that he saw your specific face? There are 3 undeniable signs happening in your life right now. These holy signs prove you are the awakened warrior he wrote about. Sign number 1 is your new and terrifying level of absolute discernment. This is the exact divine weapon the Matrix desperately wanted to hide from you. You can no longer be easily fooled by their wicked and shallow illusions. You look at a person and instantly read their hidden intentions, and while they speak sweet words, your spirit immediately feels the dark entities hiding behind their fake human smiles. The corrupt system is absolutely terrified of this sharp spiritual radar. They used to manipulate you easily when you were still deeply unhealed. They fed you sweet lies, and you accepted them with a pure heart. But that season of naive blindness is permanently over today. Now, their toxic manipulation attempts only make you quietly smile in complete peace. You see the hidden trap long before they even set it. Sign number 2 is your extreme intolerance for low spiritual frequencies. You used to sit in crowded rooms and absorb toxic gossip because you wanted to make everyone else feel comfortable. But lately, your physical body literally rejects that dark and heavy energy. You get intense headaches around fake people and hidden manipulators. Your soul aggressively demands absolute peace in every single interaction. This sudden isolation is actually a magnificent spiritual graduation. You are no longer willing to dim your bright light to keep the Matrix happy. You would rather sit completely alone in pure silence than sit at a crowded table of hidden enemies. This massive shift proves your divine frequency is rising very rapidly. The heavy chains of people-pleasing are finally falling off your tired shoulders. Many chosen ones completely fail to recognize sign number 3, and it often costs them their hard-earned peace and quiet stability. Sign number 3 is the sudden and unexplainable quietness in your own mind today. For years, your anxious thoughts were constantly racing, and you always worried about every possible bad outcome. But a strange and beautiful calm has recently settled deep over your entire spirit. This profound quietness is not a sign of emotional depression. It is the undeniable calm before a massive wave of heavenly blessings. You have surrendered your heavy burdens completely to the universe, and you no longer feel the desperate need to force things to happen. You know deep inside that heaven is already moving mountains behind the scenes. Your quiet faith has become your greatest defense. The dark matrix desperately wants to steal this new peace from your pure heart. They will try to send sudden distractions to break your holy focus. Subscribe to this sanctuary and turn on the bell so the enemy cannot intercept your future messages. You must actively protect your sacred energy at all costs right now. Do not let anyone drag you back into the chaotic survival mode you just escaped. Enoch absolutely knew this transformation would happen to the chosen ones. He saw you shedding your old skin and stepping into your divine authority. The terrible fear that once paralyzed you is completely gone now, and you are standing boldly on the edge of a massive spiritual victory. The universe is actively aligning every single detail to honor your silent sacrifices. You are finally ready to receive. But you must remain highly vigilant as the final pieces fall into place. The unseen enemy always strikes hardest right before your biggest breakthrough arrives. They want you to doubt these beautiful signs and return to your old fears. But you must hold your holy ground and deeply trust the divine signs heaven is showing you. The brutal battle is already won entirely in the spiritual realm. Every time you honor your sharp discernment, you crush the dark system. Every time you choose quiet peace, you break another generational curse. Your daily life has become a powerful testimony of divine grace, and the Matrix simply cannot comprehend how you survived their brutal and calculated attacks. They expected you to completely shatter under the immense pressure they deliberately applied. Instead, you allowed the intense pressure to turn you into a flawless diamond. You are shining much brighter than you ever have in your entire life. Heaven is incredibly proud of the quiet warrior you have finally become, and you walked gracefully through the dark fire to emerge completely purified. We are now approaching the most critical and sacred moment of this entire prophetic message. The next massive revelation will completely break the final chains holding you back. It is the ultimate verdict that Enoch saw written in the heavenly courts. Your long season of hidden preparation is officially reaching its glorious end today, so lock your attention right now and do not look away for a single second. This brings us directly to the exact divine decree heaven prepared for you. We have finally reached the exact moment of absolute spiritual vindication, and the heavy veil is completely lifting off your tired eyes right now. Remember the terrifying detail that Enoch saw concerning your hidden enemies. He saw that your wicked enemies would eventually destroy themselves while they were desperately trying to break your pure spirit. Your pure light is the exact weapon that shatters their matrix. The dark system cannot hold you back anymore. They thought they were burying you under their vicious lies and toxic isolation, but they were actually planting a magnificent divine seed deep into the holy soil. Enoch saw that your glorious harvest would instantly bankrupt the dark spiritual system, and the Matrix is terrified of this outcome. And right now, in the unseen realm, the ultimate verdict has been loudly delivered. Heaven is stepping in as your absolute defense attorney today. In the mighty name of the highest power, I break every single generational curse assigned to your bloodline. The heavy chains of ancestral poverty stop with you right now. The toxic cycles of betrayal and deep emotional abuse stop with you today. You are the ultimate cycle breaker. I declare that the suffocating mantle of pure survival mode is permanently falling off your tired shoulders while you step into complete freedom. You are no longer just surviving the vicious attacks of the dark matrix. You are stepping into an unprecedented era of complete and untouchable spiritual authority. Breathe it out slowly. The brutal spiritual war you fought so bravely for your family is officially won, and your massive reward is finally here. The enemies who sat at tables and spoke poorly of your sacred name are panicking. Their wicked alliances are entirely crumbling. What they whispered in secret is currently being shouted from the spiritual rooftops. The deep confusion they tried to cast onto your beautiful life is violently returning to their own camp. You do not have to lift a single finger to defend yourself. You do not have to speak a single word to prove your pure innocence, because heaven is revealing your absolute truth to everyone. Watch them turn on each other as your peace becomes utterly untouchable. The universe is officially flipping the script on every person who deliberately betrayed you. The exact trap they carefully set for your downfall has become their own permanent spiritual prison. God did not ask you to fight back in the physical realm. because he was already acting as your massive and impenetrable shield against their attacks. The dark entities are watching their entire toxic system malfunction before their very eyes. You have completely defeated them. And because you kept your heart pure through the darkest and most painful valleys, heaven is unlocking a massive vault. The prolonged season of severe financial restriction and blocked blessings is permanently over. I decree a mega deposit of provision and unshakable clarity into your life right now. The divine doors that were glued shut are being violently kicked open by powerful angelic forces. Everything the Matrix stole from your precious bloodline is being returned with massive divine interest. The years you spent crying in total isolation are being heavily rewarded in the public eye. You walked through the blazing fire, and you came out entirely purified, proving to the unseen realm that your Holy Spirit cannot be broken. You are a magnificent masterpiece of God. The elite system can no longer drain your holy frequency to feed their dark agendas. Your spiritual DNA is fully activated and vibrating at the highest possible frequency. The heavy fog in your mind is instantly dissolving into crystal clear divine vision. You finally see exactly who you are, and you finally understand why you had to suffer so deeply during your hidden preparation phase. You are the quiet victor, standing firmly on the ashes of your defeated enemies. Your immense power comes from your absolute and unshakable stillness. Let the dark matrix mourn the total loss of their favorite energy supply. You are officially released from the heavy burden of healing people who desperately want to stay broken. The massive debt of emotional labor you carried for them is permanently cancelled, and you owe the sleeping world absolutely nothing anymore. Your only holy assignment now is to aggressively protect your own radiant peace. You are entirely free. I seal this holy frequency over your mind and your physical vessel right now. No dark weapon formed against your sacred calling will ever prosper again. The ancient words of Enoch are completely fulfilled in your beautiful life today as you step out of the painful shadows and walk directly into your glorious promised land. The heavy storm has finally passed. The brilliant sun is rapidly rising over your new spiritual kingdom. Feel the heavy burdens literally falling off your back in this very moment. Your weary spirit is receiving a massive download of pure divine strength. You have survived the absolute worst of the spiritual warfare, and the universe is now aggressively arranging massive miracles on your behalf. You must prepare your quiet heart to receive. The breathtaking harvest is rushing toward you right now. The massive shift has officially occurred in the unseen realm right now. The dark system has completely lost their unholy grip on your destiny, but you must understand that the spiritual battle is not entirely over just yet. While the enemy can no longer stop the massive incoming harvest, they will desperately try to trick you into mishandling your new blessings. You must prepare your physical vessel carefully to manage this divine wealth. The most critical instruction heaven is giving you today is absolute silence. When the heavy doors finally begin to swing open for you, you must remain completely quiet. Do not boast about your sudden financial elevation. The Matrix heavily relies on your spoken words to intercept your incoming miracles, and they will use your own voice against you if you are not careful. Do not share your divine blueprints with people who carry painfully low frequencies. The dark entities will definitely notice your rising frequency very soon. The toxic people who cruelly abandoned you in the wilderness will suddenly try to return. They will clearly see the glorious light shining upon your life today. And when they realize how much power you now hold, they will return and desperately beg to consume your precious energy once again. You must firmly lock your spiritual door and completely refuse to let them back inside. Your exhausting season of endlessly healing broken people is permanently finished. You absolutely do not owe anyone a single explanation for your new strict boundaries. Maintaining pure silence is never an act of cruelty. Silence is simply supreme wisdom operating under perfect divine control. Let them entirely misunderstand your quietness while you securely build your massive new kingdom in total peace. You might feel slightly disoriented as the old matrix crumbles completely around you. The sudden absence of toxic daily drama will feel very strange to your mind at first. You are so used to constantly fighting invisible wars that absolute peace might actually trigger your old anxieties. But you must actively command your mind to fully embrace this beautiful and unfamiliar stillness, because this is exactly what you prayed for. Heaven is eagerly handing you the holy keys because you finally proved you can be trusted. You suffered brutally in the dark for many years, but you never once compromised the pure and loving heart that God placed inside you. Now you must act as a highly vigilant steward of this massive divine deposit. Guard your physical energy fiercely every single day. Only allow high-frequency souls to enter your sacred inner circle from this exact moment forward. You have walked bravely through the blazing fire completely alone for so many years. You carried the heavy spiritual weight of your entire bloodline while no one checked on your exhausted heart. You smiled through the deepest emotional pain. You silently absorbed the dark chaos of others. Heaven knows exactly how much it cost you to keep your beautiful spirit pure while surviving in such a wicked and unforgiving world. The corrupt system actively tried to make you incredibly bitter and cold, but you fought back with pure, unconditional love, and you miraculously survived the vicious wilderness. If this sacred space has been your comforting sanctuary today, take a quiet moment to reflect on your beautiful journey. You are finally resting safely in the comforting arms of absolute divine truth. There are still millions of chosen ones who are hopelessly trapped in the dark matrix today. They are sitting completely alone right now and crying very silent tears in their bedrooms. They falsely think they are entirely broken because no one has revealed their true spiritual identity yet. We must urgently reach these beautiful souls before the dark system completely crushes their fragile spirit and steals their glorious destiny forever. If this prophetic message just lifted a massive, heavy burden off your chest today, consider sowing a pure seed of gratitude. You can gently support this spiritual mission through the sacred link provided below. Your kind and generous support keeps this holy lighthouse burning brightly. We desperately need to guide the next chosen one who is crying in the dark right now. We do not ask for your gentle support to build earthly wealth. We simply ask so we can keep the divine light shining in this chaotic world. Every single seed you plant out of pure love will multiply your own upcoming harvest massively. Heaven always honors the beautiful heart that chooses to give freely, especially after surviving such deep and profound trauma in the wilderness. You have officially crossed the sacred threshold into your new and glorious season of abundance. The incredibly heavy armor is finally off your tired shoulders for good. You are safely resting in the majestic presence of absolute unshakable truth, and the matrix can never touch your holy frequency again. Prepare your pure heart right now for the final closing seal of divine protection. Close your eyes for a moment. Let the profound stillness wash over your tired soul completely. The heavy spiritual warfare you endured is now a distant memory. You have crossed safely over the massive raging river, and your enemies are stranded entirely on the other side. The dark system can only watch you from a very far distance. They cannot touch you. I place a divine seal of absolute protection over your mind today. I decree that no negative frequency will ever penetrate your sacred aura again. You are fully wrapped in the blinding light that Enoch saw in his ancient visions. And any dark entity that attempts to cross your holy boundary will be instantly blinded by your radiant purity. Your peace is eternal. You no longer have to fight to prove your profound worth. You do not need to explain your quiet boundaries to people who desperately want to misunderstand you. Let them assume whatever they want about your silence. Your energy is far too expensive to spend on their cheap, worldly drama. You have entered the ultimate sanctuary of quiet authority. From this moment forward, your mere presence will command absolute respect. Your deep silence will be your greatest and most lethal weapon against the sleeping world. The universe is fighting every remaining battle quietly on your behalf while you rest securely. You are incredibly anointed. You are heavily protected. You are finally completely free. Do not look back at the people who maliciously betrayed your pure heart. God removed them from your holy path so you could walk into your promised land unburdened. The heavy anchors have been completely cut loose today. You are floating gracefully into the magnificent destiny that was written for you before the foundation of the earth. The ancient timeline is officially fulfilled in your beautiful life right now. You are the cycle breaker who successfully shattered the heavy generational chains. You are the quiet victor who survived the absolute worst of the dark matrix. Heaven is loudly applauding your magnificent resilience today. The glorious shift is entirely complete in the unseen realm. Leave a single word in the comments below right now. We do not do this for earthly visibility or algorithm manipulation. We do it as a profound spiritual seal of holy agreement. Type the word Amen to permanently lock this divine frequency into your physical vessel. Your simple action physically confirms your absolute readiness to receive the mega deposit. Gently like this video as a physical declaration to the universe. You are physically confirming that you are fully aligned with the sacred words of Enoch. Subscribe to this quiet sanctuary and turn on the bell. We must ensure that the enemy cannot intercept your future prophetic messages. You need to protect your newly elevated frequency at all costs. Share this specific message with someone your spirit suddenly brings to mind right now. Heaven knows exactly who they are and why they need to hear this truth. You might be the exact vessel God uses to rescue another chosen one from the dark matrix today. Your gentle guidance could easily save their exhausted soul from completely giving up. Take one final deep breath with me right now. Let all the lingering anxiety leave your tired physical body. The profound peace of heaven is resting heavily upon your shoulders today. You are a magnificent masterpiece, created for a very specific divine purpose. The system lost their unholy control over you. Your bright light is finally shining freely. Walk boldly forward into your new glorious season of unshakable abundance. Do not let the sleeping world convince you to dim your beautiful light ever again. You are untouchable. You are completely loved by the highest power in the universe. Rest comfortably in your new quiet authority today. I will see you very soon in the next prophetic message. The dark entities that once tormented your mind are permanently banished. They can never return to the sacred space you have carefully built within your soul. You are surrounded by legions of powerful angels who guard your every single step. Your holy assignment is simply to exist in this beautiful state of pure joy. Let heaven handle all the heavy lifting. Never forget the terrifying detail that Enoch saw about your hidden strength. Your quietness is the exact force that completely shattered their wicked matrix. The sleeping world will try to pull you back into their chaotic and noisy reality, but you will calmly smile and refuse to engage with their toxic illusions. You belong to a much higher realm now. You are the beautiful remnant standing firm at the end of the age. The ancient prophets wrote about your magnificent courage with profound admiration. You carried the heavy light when the entire world was plunged into complete darkness, and heaven will never forget the silent tears you shed to protect the innocent souls around you. Your ultimate reward is eternal. Close this message with a heart completely full of divine gratitude. You survived the brutal wilderness and you arrived safely at your holy destination. The heavy storm clouds are rapidly parting to reveal your brilliant new sun. I leave you with this absolute and unshakable truth today. You are the chosen one, and your majestic reign has officially begun.